Man receives shocking message and realizes someone's been using his identity. The digital age has made accessing our personal information easier than ever. Unfortunately, it's also allowed cyber criminals to do the same. Identity theft is one of the biggest threats out there. Though it's not just the hackers looking to drain your bank account that you need to be wary of. After a strange message revealed that his identity was being used by someone else, one man found himself caught in an unexpected love triangle that would turn two strangers' lives completely upside down. As a political journalist and podcast host, Guy Benson takes on a lot of serious topics, naturally. These topics often lead to intense words being thrown his way on social media. One message, though, threw him for a loop. It came from a man named Michael, who reached out to tell Guy that he'd been involved in the stranger's family matters for quite some time. Given how unusual this message was, Guy was intrigued. And so Michael began his tale of heartbreak and deception. It all started with his cousin Allison Malloy, who fell in love with someone who didn't love her back, or at least not in the way she wanted him to. Back in 2010, Allison had attended a religious retreat where she first met Dylan Duquette. Their connection was immediate, and as they grew closer over the years, friends and family couldn't help but wonder when the wedding bells would begin to chime. Yet as time went on, Allison and Dylan remained just good friends. Everyone knew Allison liked Dylan, but Dylan, for whatever reason, wouldn't make a move. Allison could have asked him out herself. Instead, she decided to go with a more chaotic plan. While attending her cousin Daniel's graduation, Allison's other cousin, none other than Michael, the man who contacted Guy, proposed a crazy idea. They would make up a fake boyfriend to make Dylan jealous and push him to ask her out. Brilliant, right? Well, Allison wasn't too keen on it at first. Allison knew how ridiculous the plan was, so she initially told Michael no. However, it didn't take long for her heartbreak to become too much to bear. She wanted to be with Dylan and saw this as her best option. They just needed the right man. Since Allison didn't want to actually be with anyone else, she and her cousin Michael scoured the internet for a fake boyfriend. They sifted through thousands of photos, eventually finding Allison's beau-to-be under the search term generic white man. It was none other than Guy Benson, though neither of them knew his real name. Instead, they opted to call him Ryan Stevens. Soon, everyone in town was buzzing about Allison's new love, though when Dylan heard the news, he wasn't exactly thrilled. In fact, Dylan was furious, just as Allison and Michael had hoped he'd be. With the threat of another man potentially stealing Allison away, Dylan decided it was time to finally make his move. The plan had worked like a charm. Later on, as Michael recounted the saga to him, Guy couldn't help but be amused. The tale had a certain romantic charm, and he was flattered that he could be a part of such a dramatic love story. But to his surprise, Michael revealed that this was really only just the beginning. Allison and Dylan started dating at last, but after the honeymoon phase was over, a number of uncomfortable questions bubbled to the surface. Namely, Dylan began asking Allison about her relationship with Ryan Stevens. Unsurprisingly, she wasn't too eager to address the subject. Yet the truth always comes out, which is why Allison felt compelled to tell Dylan about the scheme with her made-up boyfriend. And believe it or not, Dylan found it hysterical. But while the truth about Ryan Stevens didn't change the way Dylan felt about Allison, it did change their relationship. And for the better. Finally ready to take the next step, Dylan proposed to Allison and the two became engaged. After all the games, it seemed that the couple had found their happily ever after. Then Michael found the real Ryan Stevens. Michael happened to be watching the news when he spotted a familiar face. Guy Benson was at work reporting when Michael made the connection. With Ryan Stevens' true identity revealed, he decided to reach out to make an unusual request. Spurred by Michael, Guy took to Twitter as Ryan Stevens and posted a video message wishing Allison and Dylan well. The video came as a huge surprise to the couple and their families, and it was the perfect way to end what had been a pretty great prank. Allison, however, wasn't done just yet. Despite the COVID-19 pandemic, Allison and Dylan's wedding day finally arrived in July 2020. It was a beautiful occasion in a difficult year, though Allison still claimed that something was wrong. While the family was taking pictures, the bride shouted, "Wait, we're missing someone." Everyone's head turned left and right, unsure of who they could have left out. Then he arrived. Out came Guy Benson, who Allison welcomed to the wedding as one final prank. He became the guest of honor as he faked tears and anger toward Dylan for stealing his girl. It was a great time, especially when Guy saw just how famous he had become in the family. His picture was yet again used by the two lovers, only this time to decorate mugs gifted to the groomsmen. Allison had even planned ahead and made Guy a name card, though it was addressed instead to his alter ego Ryan Stevens. On top of having the Ryan Stevens saga come full circle, it was also pretty exciting for Allison and Dylan to have a minor celebrity make a surprise appearance at their wedding. After all, you never know what big name guest might show up unannounced on your big day.